Melody Almay TV, the podcast. It is your host, Melody Almay, now Lee. And as you guys can see, I have my now husband here on my podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is David Lee, and I am the husband of the Melody Almay Lee.
Show them the ring. Show them the ring. I know it's been a while since I posted on my podcast. I know. This is probably episode 16 or 17. I'm not sure. Today we'll be giving you guys a story time of our whole entire wedding experience from the time that we got engaged to our 2-year wedding preparation. When did we get engaged? Like June 8th of 2023?
To be exact, yeah.
Yeah, June 8th of 2023 to our 2-year wedding preparation. All the stuff that we went through. So those who are brides of 2025 or future brides, this is for you because I literally watched every single YouTube video that I could find on YouTube, especially for black brides. You know, black weddings is a little different than regular weddings, so especially for women of color. Okay, I wanted to see women of color, so that's why I want to go ahead and get this out to you guys as soon as possible. We just got married
3 months ago.
Yeah, 3 months ago on May 25th 2025. 5/25/25. Okay, and that is very special, and we'll explain that a little bit later on in this podcast. But if those are here for the first time, welcome to Melody Almay TV. You're gonna love it here. I'm gonna stay more consistent, y'all. I've just been super busy. This married life has been bliss. How does it feel to be married? Let's go ahead and let's just talk about it. Let's just begin with that. How does married life feel to you?
It feels great. You definitely have an excellent partner. And I don't want to say partner in crime, but we'll say partner in peace, partner in prosperity, partner in life. And so I love you, love this journey that we on and we started. We get to eat every day, get to find out what we gonna go eat every day, you know, make sure we both fed, you know, we cook, we clean, you know, and we doing the life thing, so it's amazing.
And when the married folks say marital bliss, I honestly feel that. I feel blissful, just waking up every morning next to you and just seeing that you're there. I mean, I know we've been living together for a year now, ever since he moved I moved him to LA, but it's just been different. It feels the same, but it feels different, only in aspects of we're right with God. It just feels amazing just to not be living in sin, baby. So as you guys can see, we have on our all white, okay, because baby, we're still in the marital bliss era, okay? We're still in the honeymoon era and we still have those type of vibes. So we want to go ahead and get into this podcast. If you guys are new here, welcome. If you guys are watching visually on YouTube, make sure you guys go smash that subscribe button and join the May Baby family. You guys are gonna love it here. And if you guys are listening on any audio platforms, make sure you guys rate this podcast 5 stars, okay? Because I'm a 5-star girl. And we're gonna get right into it, y'all. So first off, we're gonna talk about our engagement. As y'all seen by my previous podcast episode, I gave you a little story time of how I got proposed to and how I did not expect it at all. But you guys never heard his version of his side of how it was leading up to the proposal and everything. So let them know the story time of, first off, why did you want to propose? And what made this moment so special? Why was this the perfect time? And all of the thoughts that was going through your head with picking the ring and just planning everything, make sure all my friends were involved, because you knew that I wanted my friends to be there. So tell them what was going through your head.
So 1, I already knew that I wanted to marry you and spend the rest of our lives together. So then 2, it became, now I wanted to move to California. So 3, we definitely wanted to get engaged first before I just moved. I didn't want to just move to come out here and hang out with my friend. I wanted to move out here and start our lives together. And so it was a combination of a couple things that we've been, asking you about, the rings and what kind of ring do you like. And so we went ring shopping before. And so now it was I know what kind of ring you like, but now it's just a matter of going to buy it. I had a couple dollars, God is great. I had a couple nickels to rub together. So what the real thing is, we were actually going to my friend's wedding in Atlanta, Georgia. And so we're gonna go to Chicago to go visit family, and then we were going to drive to Georgia. And so basically, while we were at home, in that little 2 or 3 days that you came from California and you flew to Chicago, I actually went early in that same week. I actually told my mom that we was going to go ring shopping, and she was excited. And I actually went ring shopping with my mom, and it was cute because that it was just something that she could really be involved in. It was cute because she got to go and try some of the rings on, and so she was your mama was trying the rings on. She was trying the rings on. It was cute to see what they look like on the hand. It was something special special about when I saw that ring. I couldn't take my eyes off of it, and it just gave me this warm feeling that this is the one. Me and my mom went into like another 2 or 3 jewelry stores and that same thing, just to see if, okay, let me go look and let me go check prices. But then nothing screamed at me and never talked to me like this ring. And so we went and came back, looked at it for a couple more seconds and said, this is it. We got it. We got its size because I knew your size. Me and mom went to go have lunch and we came back and picked it up. And it was go time. Let's say that was on a Wednesday. On that Thursday, we were supposed to be actually driving to Georgia. And so really that Wednesday, I messaged Farrah, shout out to Farrah, and I messaged Maya, shout out to them, Maya, Alex, and Farrah. And I said, hey, this is Day Day, Melody's boyfriend, and we're going to Georgia, and I'm looking to propose to Melody this weekend. And shout out to Farrah. She was the first one to really hit me back, and so she was excited. I think she was in Texas at the time, and she had to like travel for work. And so she was just so happy, and then she helped me get in contact with Maya. Alex reached back out because I hit them up on Instagram. I didn't have their numbers yet. And so they ended up hitting me back on Instagram. And then on Wednesday, shout out to them because we had to plan a whole engagement between Wednesday and Thursday evening. So going to Georgia, I have friends that live there, and then she had friends that live there.
I think it was Alex and Maya who lived there in Georgia, Atlanta.
Yep. And so shout out to Brendan and Maya and Alex because they was my videographers. They was my decoration. Then my friends BA and Will and their wives now. It's crazy. We all married, but they really helped because we did it at one of their houses. And so the whole drive down there, I was telling Melody, like, yeah, when we get there, we just got to get dressed and we got to go to one of the bridal party weekend events because my friend was actually getting married that weekend. Yeah. And so that was the reason we were going. And so Melody didn't think anything of it. And so I was on the phone and they got the balloons, they got the food and the catering and everything and the drinks, the cake and everything, and set it up all cute and everything. And when we got in town, we went and got dressed, and then they was like trying to get our ETA and get everything set up. And then when we walked in, it was showtime.
Wait, I had no idea, y'all. I had no idea. I just knew like this is the first relationship that I've ever had where my man told me that he was going to marry me. So I'm like, okay, you gonna marry me, but I didn't know it was gonna be this soon. So I had no idea, y'all. So
we were 3 years. You say it's this soon?
Yeah, I mean,
we were dating for 3 years. I love it.
But what was going through your mind?
It was still sneaking and texting. We had a little group chat of just talking to them or just individually, just really working out plans.
So you didn't think about how you were going to propose in your mind?
Baby, I was in the battle. And you know, it was just, I was still in action trying to drive, 8 hours with you sitting right next to me and the ring in my pocket, next door.
Mind you, we drove from Chicago to Atlanta. So he had plenty of time to think about what he's going to say, actually, now that I think about it. So you weren't even worried. You was just more so thinking about the party planning.
Yeah. Shout out to the party planning committee.
What was your thoughts like about the whole entire proposal, like how that went?
I remember we prayed at the door. Remember, because it was funny because
he prayed at the door.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, I kept asking. I asked you a couple times. Are you sure? Do you really want to spend the rest of your life with me?
Yeah.
I asked you that like a bunch of times on the drive down, and said, "Are you sure?" And your answer was yes, of course. Without a doubt. And so that was just the reassurance, along the ride. So you were just reassuring me that this was going it wasn't nervous, something.
When you came through the door and everything, and it was time for he's like not a very center of attention person. So at the proposal, when everybody was like, all eyes were on us, what was your thoughts?
That is showtime. I didn't want it because when you walked in, you said B. You was
B. Right. What are you doing here?
You was like seeing your friend, and it was like, whoa, what's going on? Like, why are y'all here? And that was it. Just trying to keep it cool and to get to the spot right in front of the balloons.
I was so slow, y'all. I didn't catch it, but
I feel like that's the beauty of it because it was supposed to be a surprise. That's what it was for. And so as long as you were surprised, that's good. I'm glad you were surprised. You wasn't expecting it. And so,
yes. And I clearly say yes. So that was our proposal story, y'all. And that's basically the moments leading up to the proposal on his perspective. So I hope that you men are taking notes, period.
It's a group effort. Shout out to the team.
And then immediately, so as soon as we got proposed to, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm a fiance. Oh my gosh, I was in shock for the first couple months. And then I realized, I'm like, okay, now we have to plan a wedding, which is crazy. I'm about to be a wife, for real. We thought about wedding dates, and at first we were thinking about 4/24/24, which was a year from then, because it was, like I said, we got engaged on June 8th, 2023. So it was like, okay, a year is not enough time. Then I brought up 5/25/25. You know, I brought it to your attention about 5/25/25. So what was your initial thoughts about 5/25/25?
It was just praying about the date. I didn't think about it like, you know, this sounds good or this sounds bad. It's like, oh God, like revealed to me, is this the direction? We prayed about it and I got confirmation from the scripture, Ephesians 5:25, husbands love your wife like Christ loved the church. And so it was like, amen.
He put that in his vows, but we'll talk about that later, about our wedding date. But we had picked our wedding date, and honestly, we had 2 years of planning from then. So we didn't really take planning seriously besides the wedding day. Like, people kept on asking us like over and over again that first year that we got engaged, like, okay, so what's happening, when are we gonna get save the dates, like especially our wedding planning committee. So our wedding planning committee was definitely me and him. It was my mom, his mom, and his cousin Anita. And it was, who else was it? We had also hired, that was later on, but that was our family party planning committee. Besides, that was basically it.
I mean, a lot of people like help with stuff after that.
Yeah, they help with it, but I'm talking about our initial, like our original party planning committee.
That was the start.
They were on us, y'all, especially my mom and Anita. They was like, okay, so you know we got a wedding coming up, right? And y'all talking about 5/25, but that's gonna come up right before you know it. So we was like, okay, so when I started filming my wedding preparation vlog, you guys check that out. I'll go ahead and link it right here. If you guys are watching on YouTube, I'll go ahead and link these part 1 and part 2 of my wedding preparation vlog. That's when we really started to kick up this wedding planning preparation into hyper gear. I was on it, y'all. Thank you God for YouTube. Thank you God for everybody, like literally Canva is so helpful, because the first thing that we did was definitely get inspo. So we signed up for the knot, and that helped us basically visualize what we have to do, a checklist, and getting a wedding guest list, and go ahead and write down names, addresses, and all that information. And as the date started dwindling down, we just started getting on checklists. Our number one thing was, we first started off with, was sign up for the knot. We highly recommend those who are wedding planning, they definitely sign up for the knot, because the knot definitely helped us.
Absolutely.
What did you think about the knot?
It was great because it gives you like articles to follow. It gives you to-do lists, the venue. It gives you a list of vendors and venues. Go collect most of your information on one place, and it definitely helped tremendously with the guest list. We had a website, so it
helped us create our website as well, and then our wedding registry as well. We connected through the knot, so everything was like centered around the knot. That really was our initial thing. We just signed up for the knot, and we'll go ahead and place our registry sit right here in the description, in the bio, if you guys want to go ahead and check out our wedding registry. It's still live. All right, that was our number one thing, is making sure that we have our wedding guest list before we started on our invitations, because I really had a visual of what I wanted my wedding to look like. So we decided that our wedding colors is going to be soft pink and soft purple with hints of gold and ivory, because that was what dress I had and what color suit that he had was ivory. And FYI, y'all, if you guys are getting married, make sure that you know the difference between white and ivory, because there is a distinct difference between white and ivory. I didn't even know until we got into this wedding preparation. For example, let's say that you have an ivory dress and you have a white veil and white tablecloths. It's gonna make your dress look dingy. So make sure that you match your tablecloths, your veil, everything to...
Oh, and your groom.
Yeah, and the groom,
because I had an ivory jacket, but if my jacket was white, that was just some really good advice that we got along the way.
If his suit jacket was white and my dress was ivory, my dress would have looked a little dingy. So that's a little FYI for you guys. But those were our wedding colors. We had a spring wedding, spring 2025 wedding. So we wanted something like spring type of vibes, spring type of theme. I really had a lot of inspo. So what I did was I started creating my wedding binder, and I highly recommend you future brides, future grooms, future wedding couples, for you guys to get a wedding binder. It helps so much. What you think about the wedding binder that I made?
I called it our battle binder. It was great because you make so many decisions about what you like and what things you want to do, and so as you're planning and everything, it helps keep everything in one place. And that's what the significance of, because you have so many text messages, you have so many emails, but it really helped to get everything in one place. place.
one place, y'all.
And that was great.
My wedding binder was 50 pages. It was like 100 pages now that it was over.
Once you like list out laid out everybody's names and like the different places and different things, it was a lot.
If you guys watch my wedding preparation vlog part 2, you guys can really see what my wedding binder consisted of. To give you guys the gist, I just had all of my wedding inspo, my itineraries for my bridesmaids and my groomsmen, and basically the layout of how I wanted the floor plan and everything, the tables, the table seating, all the details from the wedding rehearsal, all the details for the bachelor activities and everything, y'all. All the way down to the decor of we decorated the Lee Wedding Party House, y'all.
Oh, the games we
played, y'all. I highly recommend if you guys are doing a wedding rehearsal dinner, if you guys are doing like any games for throughout the week for your bachelor or bachelorette party or any type of wedding party, I highly recommend you guys do these games. So we had
how well do you know the groom and how well do you know the bride? So we asked questions to our bridal party and some of our friends that were at the rehearsal dinner that night event, and so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I had printed out baby pictures of him and baby pictures of me, and it was cute, but they just pulled up which one is bride, which one is groom whenever we answered it. And then we opened up the floor for our bridal party just to ask us questions, and that got very, very interesting and fun. So if you guys want to check out that footage, go ahead and go to my wedding weekend vlog, and that's going to be linked right here, so y'all can go ahead and click that link right there. So you guys, that was basically my wedding binder, and that definitely helped us throughout planning our wedding. Our number one thing that we did after we made the binder was that we had to find a decorator. Okay, I highly recommend, if you guys are future brides, future grooms, I do not recommend that you get a wedding planner. What do you think?
Just be proactive in your own wedding.
If you want to budget and you want to save money,
absolutely,
you can plan your own wedding by yourself, and you can save yourself thousands of dollars by just planning your own wedding. Because baby, the wedding planner is going to basically ask you what you want at the end of the day. So it's like, what are you here for?
I definitely recommend a day of coordinator.
Yes, definitely a day of coordinator.
You both would be just running around, and so that day of person is tremendous. We had an amazing day of wedding coordinator.
Yes, Helen, shout out to Helen.
Shout out to Miss Helen. She definitely helped us keep us on the right path.
Yes,
and kept the show going.
Yes, that was his mom's friend that literally was there for her wedding.
My mom helped plan her wedding.
Oh yeah, his mom helped plan her wedding, so like she would basically return the favor for us. She literally watched him and his brother grow up, so she said it was amazing to see him getting married now. So definitely get a date of coordinator instead of getting a wedding planner, because a wedding planner is not needed. I'm telling you that. If y'all don't learn anything from this video, if you guys really want to budget a wedding, because we wanted a budget, baby. We really wanted to budget our wedding, so I was the wedding planner, baby.
Because we were getting quotes like for like $3,000, $5,000, $10,000.
So that's next on the list, y'all. So if you guys are planning a wedding, you can be your own wedding planner, but what you definitely need is a day of coordinator, and you definitely need a decorator. Well, we would recommend a decorator because us doing our own decorations, that would have been a lot, especially the day of, because we had a lot of stuff going on that weekend, y'all. I'll get into that, all the details of what we had going on that weekend, but basically we started looking into decorators, and she quoted us like $5,000.
And then we started telling her what we wanted, and then she said, oh yeah, this is going to be more than $5,000. But then she said that, but then she started listing out a bunch of stuff that we still had to handle ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the end of the day, she said, oh, and then I'm not going to be there the day of your wedding. I'm like, girl, bye. So basically his mom had recommended this decorator because we had our wedding in Gary, Indiana. Shout out to Gary, Indiana. Shout out to our venue. Oh, and number one, our venue, you guys. Rewind. Our venue. So we had to pick our venue. That was like really number one on our list, is picking our wedding venue. The very first place that we visited was the place that we ended up picking, which is Marquette Park Pavilion in Gary, Indiana. It said it's Miller, Indiana, but they said it's Gary.
That's Gary. If you know Gary, you know Gary, and it's Gary. Gary, Indiana.
That was our venue, and it was so beautiful, y'all. It was really, really, really cheap for all that we had. I think our venue was like $3,500 for the whole entire day.
It was
$3,800, which is really, really good for a wedding venue. That was amazing. That was a steal. And we also looked at other venues, and we just looked at the prices, baby. It was like night and day. So we was just like, you know what, and then they tried to change our wedding day when we went to another wedding venue. It was like, yeah, we don't have it on your day, but you can have your wedding on another day, and then when you guys can reserve it. No, we want it on our 5/25/25. So we just go ahead and We decided on Marquette Park Pavilion in Gary, Indiana. Shout out to Marquette Park. It was an amazing experience, like planning with them. They made sure that we had everything that we needed. Every time we had to go do our walkthroughs or meetings with our decorator, they opened their facility, and we saw it during the fall, the summer, and then in the spring, baby.
In the winter.
In the winter. So we was just visualizing our wedding day all throughout the process while we were visiting there. And if you guys wanted to check out that footage, go ahead and go to my wedding preparation vlog. Click that link. We found our wedding decorator. The wedding decorator was Jackie. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out our wedding decorator, I'm definitely going to link her website down below because she did an amazing job. We gave her the inspo. I just had to work with her and tell her exactly what I wanted, and she literally made everything seamless, from like the tablecloths and everything. And we really started hiking up our wedding planning in high gear on that last year.
Oh, so the middle of 2024, we'll call it that.
Yeah, well, middle of 2024, we started really hiking up our wedding planning like thing, and like we got the venue booked, we got the decorator. So as far as our vendors, we had our wedding decorator, our day of coordinator.
The caterer actually came a part of the venue.
Yes, the caterer came with our venue. We had no choice but to book the caterer that they had linked with the venue. And honestly, it worked out perfectly because literally the caterer lived right across the street from his mama house. We saw his truck every day. We was like, since he's across the street, baby, he gave me a discount. But no, he didn't. Our caterer honestly was the biggest fee for our wedding. Like,
absolutely,
that definitely was the most expensive thing, was our caterer. So we had our caterer that went along with the venue, but it was a separate price from the venue. Our venue, and then we had our day of coordinator and our decorator. Am I missing anybody?
So we had a DJ, and shout out to
the DJ.
So he did the DJ. He offered like a spotlight. He offered smoke, and then he offered the sparklers, like for our first dance.
The sparklers and the monogram.
And the monogram. The monogram was dope, and a floor wrap.
And a floor wrap, y'all.
She created the floor wrap on Canva, and
yes,
it was amazing.
Shout out to Canva. Okay, now going back to Canva. So I created my wedding binder off Canva. Everything was on Canva. I created our logo, our happily ever after logo, and our floor wrap on Canva. So shout out to Canva, y'all. For my future brides, if you're creative, you want to do your own little styles, go ahead and go to Canva and get busy, girl, because literally there's so many options of fonts, and only you as a bride know what you want. You can't let your wedding planner or decorator tell you what you want. It saves you money too, for you just like giving them the inspo and then just bringing it to life. So it was amazing planning out everything and then just seeing how everything came together. So
absolutely,
we keep on saying, like, that's our motto. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen that
absolutely
day. We can't even have any type of control, because honestly, when you're in that moment, because you guys have one day, literally you're never going to get that moment back and everything. So it's just like, you just got to relax, and you got to realize that you can't control everything. If you try to control everything, you're going to be stressed out, and that's going to ruin the moment. So you just got to woosah, just live in the moment. Just realize that you took all this time to plan, and everybody's going to do what they say they're going to do, what you paid them to do. Just live in your moment, because you only get one moment. And honestly, it was the best day ever. What would you say is the hardest part of wedding planning? The hardest part was trusting people for me.
It's just the coordinating between the vendors and your family. So that's why I really liked your wedding binder. And so we was trying to, coordinate with people and
give everybody a role. Everybody had to play a part. Everybody had to feel included, especially if they wanted to be a part of the process. Because
shout out to your family, because they really want to be a part, and it's really a blessing. And so now it's trying to figure out what can they do for the day of that they won't be stressed or they won't be really running. So having your family work so hard to like do all the decorations, like I didn't want to do that. Shout out to our families, like they volunteered to say that they would help and they would do it, but I didn't want them to have to do everything. So trying to balance like roles and responsibilities to make people feel included, and because we needed help, because everybody got strong suits and everybody has talents, and so just making sure God's purpose and plan kind of played out.
And so you guys, I can tell you guys now the layout of what we wanted our planning weekend be. So on that Thursday, we were going to go ahead and check into our wedding Airbnb. The Airbnb was 5 minutes drive to our venue. As soon as we checked into our Airbnb, we decorated everything, y'all. Because like I said, for my wedding binder, I printed out everybody's names who were staying at the Airbnb. I just really like detailed it towards our wedding. Like I put 5/25/25 everywhere, happily ever after. I just really like wanted to make it us. So that's what I really wanted to do. I blew up balloons, had decorations. It was our wedding colors, our pink and purple everywhere. Loved it. Loved the vibes of our wedding weekend Airbnb. And he helped me, of course, decorate and everything. We had our bridal suites and we had our game room downstairs as well. Outside in the backyard, it was beautiful. I took out my nana every morning. They had a jacuzzi back there that we never got to use, but we wanted to use. Right. It was the perfect Airbnb. So I highly recommend those who are having a wedding weekend to definitely do an Airbnb instead of a hotel, because it's more intimate for your wedding party to just be all together. I really wanted our whole entire wedding party to be inside one house, but that's not how it worked out, because you know everybody has their plus one and not everybody want to stay in one room. But you know what, it worked out like I said, the way it was supposed to work out. It worked out perfectly. So on that Thursday, we decorated the Airbnb and then we had our people start coming in. We got to pick up some people from the airport late at night, so we really didn't go to sleep till like 3-4 in the morning. Right. But actually every single night we didn't go to sleep till 3-4 in the morning. So prepare yourselves, future brides, future grooms, to not get any sleep that whole entire weekend. If you guys are having a wedding weekend, especially if you guys are doing your bachelorette parties that weekend of your wedding, because I know a lot of people do their bachelorette festivities like months before. So the way we planned it is we did our stuff that weekend. Well, I know I did. I don't think he really did that much bachelor activities that weekend. I don't think you had a bachelor party. Did you have a bachelor party?
Just have fun with my people.
Just have fun with his people. So, but actually we did a little bit something on that Friday. But anyway, basically that was Thursday. And then that Friday in the morning, I cooked everybody breakfast. And me and my bridesmaids, we went ahead and we took an Uber downtown Chicago, because if you guys know, Gary/Indiana is literally right next to Chicago. Our wedding venue, if you look across the water, you could see the skyline of my city of Chicago. So literally our wedding venue was perfect because our cities were basically touching. We basically get the best of both worlds. So me and my bridesmaids headed off to downtown Chicago and we had a bachelorette boat bash downtown Chicago, and it was amazing, y'all. Like I wanted to bring him and his groomsmen, but he didn't want to do that, because I was with my bridesmaids for a 3-hour boat party downtown Chicago on the water. I'll show you guys the pictures and the vibes. He actually went to, just tell them what you guys were doing while
we went and picked up the tuxedos and we tried on
tuxedos
and got right. It was really a cool time to really hang out, because now it was like, this is the moment that we traveled all this way for. Yeah. So people was trying on their tuxedos, we was looking at each other and they was getting adjusted and we was laughing and we was talking and bonding. Yeah. And that was really the first time that you guys all got together and, you know, had like a little intermingling, right? Yeah. So my other groomsmen could meet each other from different walks of life, you know. Yes. And then after we was done with our bachelorette boat bash and they were done with trying on their tuxedos and his suit for the wedding, we went ahead and all met at the Carnival restaurant in downtown Chicago, and we already made reservations and everything, and that was so amazing. I highly recommend you guys go to Carnival, especially if you guys are having big parties, because basically that was our first intermingling with their whole entire wedding party for the groomsmen and bridesmaids get to know each other, and the food was amazing. Everything was amazing. Like literally the whole weekend, all the food was amazing. That's what a lot of people said. That's a blessing. Yeah, every day, huh? Just delicious food, eating delicious food. So that was Friday. So after we went to the Carnival, we actually planned on going to a karaoke after that. Yeah. But we was honestly like, let's just head back to the Airbnb and just all party there. And that Friday night was lit, y'all. Like I feel like that was our party time. The most party time that we had that weekend was that Friday night, where everybody came back to the Airbnb and turned up. But everybody came back to the Airbnb and like basically turned up at the Airbnb for that night. And then Saturday was when the real wedding festivities started kicking out for everybody who was actually in the wedding, because that morning we went and picked up the wedding transport van. We went and found our wedding van on Turo for like, how much was it? Like $500. But it was a Sprinter van. It fit like 12 people on that van. We reserved it for like 2 or 3 days. From Saturday to Monday. Yeah, Saturday to Monday, so about 3 days. So that $500 was really good price. As we compared to other, you know, like we wanted to get a limo service and stuff like that, it started, you know, really picking up the price. So we were really staying in budget by Turoing. And honestly, that was the perfect van, y'all. We had picked up that van and then we met our wedding party. And basically we went to our wedding rehearsal. That started at 2 o'clock. People started flying in on that Saturday. We started getting calls from everybody like, where's the venue? Where's the venue? Y'all, that's another thing. People are going to blow your phone up that whole weekend. It's very important for you to put on your wedding website
website to have an allocated person to really like answer these questions, because you're not going to have time to answer every single question, answer every single phone call. So I had my maid of honor, Farah, be the point of contact. Did you have a point of contact?
I did, but I don't know if people called him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, so basically my maid of honor was getting calls all that wedding day. But basically on that Saturday, we had that wedding rehearsal from 2 to 4. And we basically practiced. And it was crazy just planning out everything and just seeing everything just come to life. Hearing our wedding song from our bridal party walking down. So the song that they walked down to was They Don't Know About This Yet. Okay, so that was our wedding song, was They Don't Know by John B. The song that he walked down the aisle was...
It's called When I Fall in Love.
When I Fall in Love.
And it was a live version by Sam Cooke.
That's the song that he walked down the aisle to. And he did his thing, y'all. I made sure that he walked by himself because our officiant was actually his dad. He's actually a preacher's kid. So our officiant was... His dad actually married us on our wedding day. And his best man was his brother. So our coordinator wanted them to walk in a line. I was just like, nope, let him get his moment. And I made sure that he got his moment, but he did his thing when he walked by himself because he looked so good. I was so mad that I didn't see it the day of, but you know, I got to see the wedding video. So that's the song that he basically walked out on, and that was his own special moment. And then the song that I walked out on was what?
What was it?
There you
go. That's what I thought. It was Brian McKnight, Love of My Life.
We wanted to change the walkway for us and our whole entire wedding party because the way the coordinator had it, or the way the venue had it, it's like they cut through the crowd and like made an L thing. But I wanted to do a long walk, baby. I wanted to go all the way around, all the way to the back, and then walk straight all the way through. So that's exactly what it was. So we can have our moments of just holding everything in, because like I said, we only have one time that we had a wedding, and we wanted to live every single moment to the fullest. So that was the song that we all walked down the aisle to. And then after we did our kiss and everything, our song that we left after we did our I do's was LTD, Love Ballad. Loving you gave me something new that I never felt, never dreamed of. Come on, Daddy, take it away. Come on, Daddy, sing it.
I love you, darling. You got the gift, baby.
LTD, Love Ballad. Every time I hear any of these songs, it just takes me back to my wedding day. Like, it just literally brings me to that moment every time. So it's very important when you guys are planning out your wedding day to make sure that you pick the perfect songs that just fits you as a couple, because it took us a while for us to, you know, really get our wedding playlist. It took us the whole entire 2 years to make our lead wedding playlist, and that's on our Apple Music, and we still listen to it to this day. Like, I had to share it with my wedding party because they loved it. So that was basically the wedding rehearsal. We went over it a couple times, and everybody had what they were going to do and who they were going to walk with. And then I wanted everybody to walk through the path. Y'all know the Lee Bridge. So ironically, when we had picked out our wedding venue, there's like a little bridgeway between our...
We gotta carve our names into it. Go ahead.
Yes, we did carve our names into it. But basically what really solidified us with this venue was that it had Lee carved into the bridge. And we were like, oh my gosh, this has to be our wedding venue, because what are the odds? Not only did it have Lee, but it had D and M, like D plus M. It wasn't even our initials. Like, it was just destined for us to get married there. So I wanted everybody to just walk over the Lee Bridge, and like, because where our venue was, it's like right by the water, by the dunes, Indiana dunes. And our wedding rehearsal dinner was actually at the Aquatorium right there, right across the bridge. And I want everybody to walk, but it was a little windy that day. So only me and a couple of my dad and a couple of my bridesmaids had walked, but most of everybody had drove. I think you drove too.
Yeah.
You gonna leave me?
I love you. So I was looking for you.
I realized that you just left me.
I was looking for you, and they said, I asked, where's Melody? And somebody told me she already started walking. And I said, dang.
How come you didn't know I was walking? Why did you even have to say, where's Melody? You should have known where I was.
You walked off, darling.
You should have just stayed right by my side.
So then I grabbed the van, and I drove the van to the venue.
Another bit of advice for you guys couples. Be by y'all's side the whole entire weekend, okay? Forget about everybody else, okay? Because it's about y'all. So make sure you guys never leave each other's side the whole weekend, okay? You should never ask, oh, where's my fiance, where's my wife, okay? You should already know where she is. Besides the fact, you guys, we had walked over to our rehearsal dinner venue, and that's at the Aquatorium. Shout out to my mama, because it took a lot for us to figure out what we're gonna eat for our rehearsal dinner slash luncheon. We called it a luncheon because it was a little bit earlier during the day, and my mom had hired this hibachi. So basically we had our little hibachi. Everybody was just catching stuff with their mouths and everything, and
not everybody.
You was.
I did not.
Yes, you did. You said, ah. What was it called? What is the drink called?
Sake.
Sake dance. The sake in his mouth. But they had a whole show, y'all. Highly recommend if you guys are doing a rehearsal dinner. Go ahead and hire Hibachi. Mr. Hibachi. I'll go ahead and link their website, everything down below if you guys are in the Gary/Chicagoland area. They were amazing. Even though it was a little bit expensive, they did their thing. They had set up their tent, everything. Tables, chairs. They offered between steak, chicken, and vegetables. And it was amazing. And then people got to still take their plates home and everything. All of their leftovers and everything. Delicious. And everybody say it was delicious. Usually, say your little piece about hibachi, how you feel about hibachi.
If you go to like Benihana or somewhere that's really just be putting on a show, it's like they go flip, 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 one little shake of salt and pepper. Flip, 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 you know, fire, little salt and pepper. Like, you know, and by the time you got it, they have the little bit, a couple crumbs of pepper on there. And they ain't really seasoning it.
It's more about the show than the flavor. That's what he's trying to say. But Mr. Hibachi, the baby, they had the flavor and everything.
They did. It was delicious.
And the meat was thoroughly cooked as well. So shout out to Mr. Hibachi. So we had our rehearsal dinner and everything, and we were wearing all white, mind you, the whole entire weekend. We said that we were going to wear our bridal all white. So we had different outfits every single day. If you guys watched the vlogs, y'all would see we wanted to be in our bridal all white the whole entire weekend because, you know, we were the bride and groom. That was the vibes. So after our wedding rehearsal dinner, we went inside the aquatorium and we started playing games with our wedding party. The games that we told you guys about, where we had opened the floor and we had played games and they had asked questions. And after that, we started going back to the wedding Airbnb and we started getting ready for the wedding day. Well, us girls was starting to get ready. I originally wanted to have like a lingerie party, but that didn't really work out because the guys were there and, you know, it is what it is. It worked out the way it was supposed to work out. But on that Sunday, May 25th, 2025, we got married.
Woo.
So that was basically the layout of our whole entire wedding weekend. Now let's go ahead and finally get into the story time of our wedding day. This was the most amazing day of our lives. Looking back, it's crazy. So that morning, mind you, we've been going to sleep 4 or 5 in the morning. Literally every morning I went to sleep, I heard the birds chirping. every night that we went to sleep, when we had to get up in a few hours. So that morning I woke up to one of my bridesmaids, Tata, knocking on the door and say, "Hey, your makeup artist is here."
Oh wow.
Shout out to Toya because she had actually paid for my makeup artist, and I found her. I will put her link in my bio, my description down below, because originally I was gonna just do my own makeup just to save myself some money. But I'm so glad I hired a makeup artist because she made me feel so beautiful, and she did 10 times better than I would have done that day, baby. But basically that morning I got woken up by Tata telling me that, "Baby, your makeup artist is here. She's on time. Come on, come downstairs." So I like hurried up and put on my little wedding day robe, and I had like a special robe that people got me off my wedding registry. It was gorgeous because I've been wearing my little bride to be robe that whole entire weekend, but I had a special robe for that day. So I went ahead and put on my robe, and then me and my husband to be had our last little moment that morning because I looked out the window and it was raining, y'all. It was pouring, it was ugly, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know that's not rain. How are you feeling?
So actually like 7 o'clock in the morning, the wedding decorator actually texted a group chat that we had, and the wedding decorator actually said, "Hey, you know, it's raining outside. It looks like we're gonna set up in our secondary location." And that was at 7 o'clock in the morning. And so I saw it. Melody was still asleep.
I didn't see. I'm so glad I did not see that, y'all.
So at least I tried to sneak out into the bed, go into the bathroom, and just pray, and then give her a call. And like really just no panic, no nothing, just, "Hey, like I understand the fact that it's raining, you know, but by the grace of God, the sun is gonna shine, you know, and when it's time." And so I asked her to set up as we rehearsed,
because baby, she wasn't even there during the rehearsal. And to continue with plan number A. When I left, I told her like, "Hey, I'm gonna come up there." So at about like 9 o'clock when you start getting ready, I went to go up there and did a walkthrough with the wedding decorator. We said we're gonna do this. They had like some swan poop and like some dirt like in different of the walkways. So I worked with the Marquette people, and I had one of my groomsmen with me, and we made sure like, "Hey, please clean this up, clean that up." And we was like trying to get everything together. And we had like the gift box and like the different things that we had still, the sand kits and all that, to the mirrors and everything. We wanted to make sure all that stuff got to the venue that morning. And then because we had a DIY mirror where we got this big old mirror, full size mirror, not life size, full length mirror. mirror, that stand that we got off Amazon. And then we had his cousin Anita, shout out to Anita. She had a Cricut, so she had put our happily ever after and our wedding date on it. And where is that mirror now I think about it?
I have no idea. That's funny. After we packed it up and we made sure it was staying where it needed to be. But
where is that mirror?
I do think it's at my mom's house somewhere. But
we was just at your mama's house. I didn't see it at your mama's house.
I plead the fifth. I don't know.
We have no idea where that mirror is, but basically, we're gonna find where that mirror is, y'all, because that mirror was amazing and I want it in my house right now. But anyway, you guys, so we had the full-size mirror DIY and it was amazing for our wedding guests to take selfies in it and do a little, like, you know, photo op, because we wanted to have a photo booth area, and he's gonna explain about the photo booth area when he got to the venue, because I'm gonna tell you guys my perspective of my wedding day, but I want him to start off his morning of that wedding day about how that went.
For the wedding booth, so shout out to the decorator and shout out to my cousin Nita. So at least when we was having these walkthroughs, it was something, as we were discussing, it was some miscommunication that was happening. I didn't get it until we went up there, and when I finally got to the venue after getting dressed and everything. So at least we agreed with the decorator that she was going to supply a white backdrop curtain for the photo booth.
Yeah, I had no idea it was going to be a white. It definitely wasn't miscommunication, because I showed her my wedding booth inspo and she's like, oh, okay, I can do that. I just thought that it was going to be like my inspo, but no, when we came, it was a white backdrop and that was it.
Like a pole and like a white
cloth. Yeah. And that was it. It wasn't no type of lead, nothing. Yeah. It wasn't no type of 525, no pink, purple, nothing. So shout out to his cousin Anita. Yeah. Because on Saturday we had our wedding rehearsal venue. She basically took all the decorations from there and basically made our photo booth. And it was amazing, y'all. And we actually had some people, you know, go ahead and take pictures there. But we also paid for an app. It was POV. We paid this app called POV, where basically we had a QR code on each of the tables where you could just use your iPhone and just scan the QR code and you could just take your selfies, and it just came to like a photo gallery, and that we could basically see everything that our guests had, instead of paying thousands of dollars for a standstill photo booth or like one of those 360
photo booths,
360 things that go over the
cool,
top. It would have been cool, but you know what? People barely even went to the actual photo booth in the corner. So we have most of our pictures off of that POV app. So future brides and grooms, go ahead and download that POV app. It was definitely a 10 out of 10.
And it's a lot of action shots. So people were like at their table taking pictures and then uploading it to the thing, and it was just family. It was family pictures.
Oh yes, and then we didn't even give a shout out to our videographer and first off, shout out to our photographer, Mark Landry. He got all the moments. Shout out to Mark, okay? Shout out to Mark.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Mark.
He was on it.
Yes, he was on it. If you guys are looking for a photographer anywhere, because he travels as well, but he's located in Louisiana. But Mark Landry, I'll go ahead and put his information down below, well, his Instagram down below. And then our videographer, our amazing videographer, Marvin Price. Me and Marvin been locked in since 2015, so 10 years, y'all. He's been that dude. Like, he's always been there for me since I was a crab. It's just been amazing just to have everybody that's included in our lives just to actually be in the wedding. So those are our videographer and photographer. Basically, going back to our wedding day. So that morning, my makeup artist came and we said our last goodbyes. After I saw it rain, we prayed together and we said that this will be the best day ever. You know, wherever the way it's supposed to be was going to be, and this is going to be the best day ever. So I headed downstairs and my makeup artist, she started on my makeup and my bridesmaids started coming in. Jay had got me a strawberry refresher from Starbucks just to like keep me refreshed for my wedding day. She knew I was going to cry 1,000 tears, which I did. After I had got my makeup done, I did the reveal and everything, and my bridesmaids said their little speeches, their wedding day speeches. I also have that in my wedding vlog, so if you guys want to check that out. It was amazing. That was like probably my first tears that I cried that day, was when they started saying their speeches about how they felt about how far I've came and how far we came in our friendship and how we got to this moment, and just to take everything in and just live in the moment and to trust him because they said that, you know, he's a man of God and he's gonna always ask God first. So that's always, you know, basically I chose the right one. They definitely approved of my husband to be, and you know, everything was just amazing. Shout out to Alex. She was steaming all the bridesmaids' dresses. Shout out to our registry because we got our steamer literally the weekend before we left. If it wasn't for that steamer, all of our bridesmaids' dress would have been real wrinkly. What I wanted to do with my bridesmaids' dress was I got the same, and I'll try to link if I can find the name of the website that I got my bridesmaids dresses from. I'll go ahead and link it down below. But I wanted the same color in a different style because everybody has like is unique in their own way. I basically gave all my bridesmaids different options from the website of which dress they picked, and basically after they picked it, that was it. That you picked your dress. Now one of them had to be the same, but this is same fabric, same color, different style. So they looked like the girls from Hercules. It was giving, that was the inspiration.
The little singing girl?
Yes, they look like those. Like,
okay.
Yes, that was the inspo. Yes, it was giving that. And they were so gorgeous. Their hair was side part. Everybody's hair was curled. Everybody did their own makeup. That just would save me a whole bunch of money too. Because shout out to my bridesmaids, because get you some girls that know how to do their own makeup, because baby, they slayed their own makeup. Everybody's face laid down. And I gave everybody inspo from my wedding binder, so they knew what kind of shoes to get, because I wanted strappy gold shoes. What I did buy was their jewelry. I just got them all the same earrings, and they didn't really need necklaces because they had a lot of stuff going on with their dresses. I just told them to just get some gold strappy heels and have a side part and have hair long enough like mid back so they can have their hair curls. And everybody followed directions, including the people that I was like kind of worried about. And y'all, let me tell y'all, so I started off with 14 bridesmaids.
Say 10, darling. We started at 10.
I think it was like 10 bridesmaids, and I ended up with like 9 bridesmaids. Shout out to Toya, even though she really wanted to be there. She was on tour with Coco Jones, but you know, she really wanted to be there. You know, just make sure that whenever you guys are planning out your bridal party, make sure that everybody's on the same page, because it's a lot when it comes to bridal parties and bridesmaids and groomsmen. Sometimes they say that they're gonna be there, and then sometimes, you know, it is what it is. But you know what? Everything happened perfectly because everybody has somebody to walk with, and everything turned out perfectly. Everybody came prepared. So shout out to my bridesmaids. Stuff started really picking up after we had our little speeches. My maid of honor, Farah, she had ordered party trays of like sandwiches and fruit for us to like eat that morning. I wasn't even eating nothing, y'all. Like, I was just super nervous. I just was like, okay, I'm making sure everybody had everything that they needed. I'm making sure I have everything that I need. I'm making sure my dress is in order. I'm making sure my shoes. And I was like, I kind of freaked out. I was like, my ring, where's my ring? I was like, oh my gosh, where's my ring? I can't, like, where's my engagement ring? And the Pharaoh was like, girl, Dede done took that with him. I was like, why did he take my ring? She was like, because he's going to put it on your finger at the wedding. I'm like, oh. It went right over my head, y'all. Like, so I was just like all over the place. And I make sure that I took the moments to vlog, because that was the #1 thing that I wanted to do, was capture the moment so I can go ahead and live it back, y'all. Because if you guys are getting married, I highly recommend, even if you don't pick up the camera, just set it down somewhere on a tripod and just make sure you just click that record button and just capture the moment, because you're gonna want to live back that moment over and over and over again. And I'm so glad that I captured the moment, because ironically, the day before on Saturday, I dropped my camera and it broke, y'all. So one of my bridesmaids, shout out to her, shout out to God for her, because she gave me her camera so I can record that weekend. So I was still able to record and still capture the moment and still edit and live that moment back. All I had to do was plop my memory card in there, and basically that was it. I was able to record and no memories were lost. So shout out to Niara, okay, period. And basically before I knew it, everybody put on their robes. My bridesmaids, their hair was done, their makeup was done, the videographer and the photographer was there taking our pictures. We took our photos, and then before we knew it, we had to go ahead and head out. So what were you doing during all this time?
We was definitely just hanging out. We went to your mom's Airbnb. Shout out to Mama Pam. So she had a really nice Airbnb, and all the groomsmen, we were able to congregate over there. We all started trickling in and getting dressed, and Marvin and Mark came over and was taking pictures, put our suits on, and we parlayed and listened to music and, you know, danced a little bit.
Took shots.
And just enjoyed ourselves, for real. That was really like the couple shots that I took in there. After that was really the only alcohol that I drank for the whole day. But that was the time we really got to just really like fellowship with my friends. That was great, because like those are some of my real lifelong friends. Starting from longest friend is like my the longest one is my brother, who's, you know,
yeah, your best man.
My best man. And then from there, I got friends that I've known, each one for like almost, my longest one is 20 years, and like I think my shortest one is 10 years. Like my line brothers are 9. We almost about to celebrate our 10-year. And so it was really great. You know, they came and we was just reminiscing and then listening to music and just having a good time. Got dressed. We had donuts. We didn't have no fruit trays. Shout out to one of my groomsmen. He brought me a sandwich, and that sandwich brought me life.
You gotta shout out to him.
Michael. Shout out to Michael.
He
brought me a Dunkin' Donuts sandwich, and that gave me life, you know, and Arizona tea, and I was ready for action.
Yes, it's funny because he sent the itinerary to the groomsmen, and I told them to bring snacks for the groom, and some of them made jokes like, "Nigga, I ain't bringing no snacks."
Yeah, they disagreed.
But Michael 5E actually paid attention to directions. We love a good groomsman that's gonna be attentive to the groom, okay, and not make no jokes, but be serious.
Shout out to all my groomsmen.
They all shared a special place in his heart, but shout out to Michael 5E especially.
That's my guy, man.
Yes, y'all. So, and then they had said their little speeches as well to you at the house, right?
We didn't have no special, like, y'all had like a special moment.
We all cried, y'all. Like,
yeah, we wouldn't do it.
We cried because I was like, oh, like literally I cried. That was my first tears that I cried for that weekend. When did y'all start heading to the venue?
Really, after Mark and Marvin left, we was really suited and booted, and then really that was time to go. We basically kind of wrapped our stuff, put it away, and then Marquise took us to the venue.
Yeah, so we took the Marquise was our wedding, our designated.
My groomsmen were just great. They were just, you know, hitting on all cylinders.
We had asked Marquise to be our designated wedding van driver, and shout out to him because we asked like a month or two before. We was like, so we need somebody to, we need somebody, one of the groomsmen to basically, you know, drive the thing. He was like, oh yeah, you had to ask somebody. You know what, bro? Can you be that? He was like, okay, like, you know, I mean, what is he gonna say? No.
Thank you. I'll be humble and definitely say thank you because people don't have to do anything for you. Yeah. And so thank you.
Yeah, so everybody played a role, and Marquise was the one who had basically drove the groomsmen to the venue, and then he went and picked us up from our lead wedding Airbnb. That drive there, I was lean with it and rock with it all the way to the wedding venue because it was only a 5-minute drive, and I got the little vlog, some footage, and everybody. Y'all, tell me why I almost left my dress at the really? Airbnb, y'all. Crazy, because I got into the van and everything, and then Taisha was like, your dress! You have your dress? And I was like, walk back inside. Good thing we didn't pull off yet. Like, I almost forgot my dress at the Airbnb. Crazy, y'all. What was I about to do without the dress? So basically, got the dress, whatever. Because I didn't actually put on the dress when I was in the Airbnb. I wanted to get dressed at the venue because the way our venue was set up, there's no side doors. So like, we had to really sneak in through the front door because our actual wedding was outside. So shout out to God, y'all. So at this point, the sun was out. The birds were chirping. It was dry. The concrete wasn't even wet. It was beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful day. When we pulled up to the venue, people were already there. Basically, our wedding guests were there. Like, it was blowing up my phone. We had to sneak in because I had on my robe. Nothing underneath it. It was just robe. And my garter and my bride's flops. That's basically what I wore to the venue, and I had my dress in hand. Me and my bridesmaids snuck me upstairs, and I remember looking upstairs. I got on top of the balcony and I looked and seen inside the venue in the reception hall. Y'all, it was so gorgeous. I was like, oh my gosh. It's like literally when you visualize and you plan a wedding for 2 years and actually see it come to life. Like, I saw my floor wrap, I saw all the decorations on the table, I saw the lighting, like everything was amazing. My mouth literally dropped. That's how I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted it to be. And it's just like, God was just in every single avenue of that day. So I was just like, oh my gosh. And basically we were upstairs. I have no idea where y'all were. Where were y'all during that time? I think they was outside.
There was a dip outside the water venue that led to a lagoon.
Yes, right by the water, y'all. The way the stairs looked like you could go right into the water. It basically did go right into the water.
It did go right into the water. You could dip a toe if you wanted to.
Yeah, so basically that's where we took our main wedding pictures. So they were out there taking their pictures while we were upstairs getting ready. Immediately when I went in there, my bridesmaids were already ready. So it was like, girl, let's get you ready. So it's time to put on your dress. So I was like, oh, okay, put on my dress. So that was the first time that they seen me in my wedding dress, because I showed them like an idea of what it looked like, but they didn't see like the full dress. And my dress was gorgeous. Once I tried it on, it was gorgeous. Shout out to Bridal Elegance. And Essence of Australia is the brand where I got my dress at. And I'll go ahead and link that down in the description below. Oh my gosh, my dress was so gorgeous, y'all. What I really wanted to when I was picking out my wedding dress is I wanted sleeves. And I didn't want to give him any type of idea of what I wanted my dress to be. And he didn't even want to know what it was.
I didn't. Because she was trying on so many dresses. And, you know, this is the social media queen. I just didn't want to see her in a bunch of different wedding dresses. I just wanted it to be special. I just wanted it when we get to share that moment to just it to be unique and just amazing. So
yeah.
thank you.
So what I really wanted to thank, you're welcome. I really did not have no idea what I wanted for my wedding dress, but I know I wanted to have sleeves, like floral sleeves. I know I wanted to have a deep back, like a design in the back, because I know I wanted to do like an updo type of situation, but that was basically it. Oh, and then a mermaid style dress, because I didn't want no Cinderella dress that poofed out like a prom dress. I just wanted something that would like is form fitted to my body, because your girl is body yaddy yaddy down, okay? And then I wanted a long train. That's what I really wanted, is a long train as well. So I had the perfect dress. Honestly, the first bridal shop that I visited was when I tried on my dress, and it wasn't until I visited the other bridal shops that I was like, oh my gosh, let me go back to the first dress. That was the one, because I'm like, these dresses aren't it. The one that I tried on, that was it. So I went ahead and ordered her, because it was already like December and my wedding was in May. So I was like, I didn't realize how long it's gonna take for them to make my dress. I didn't even have to expedite it, actually. I had to just order it, and I ordered it in December, and it came in, I think it came like early April. Yeah, it came April, like early April. No, I think it came February. You know, it came February, late February, because I was like, oh my gosh, it was supposed to come early April, but it actually came early, thank you God. I really didn't need that much alterations when I did get it. So I put on my dress, and everybody was like, my bridesmaids were wild away when they put on my dress, and like I put on my veil. I got my veil off Amazon, and like I said, I had an ivory dress, so I made sure that I ordered a cathedral ivory veil off Amazon, and it was so perfect. It fit all the floral accents of my dress perfectly, and it didn't take away from my dress as well. And I was ready, y'all. After all that, y'all, tell me why I forgot to get jewelry for myself. Like, I wasn't even thinking about jewelry for my wedding day. My bridesmaid Beige, she was like, where's your earrings? And I was like, I don't got no earrings. She was like, girl, like literally, she gave me my wedding day earrings. This is one of them. Look at the details. It's like holding a pearl, like a hand holding a pearl. And I only have actually one of them. I don't know where the other one went. Did you see the detail?
Didn't.
Literally, that was given to me by my bridesmaids the day of the wedding, and she didn't even know that I needed earrings. So that's nothing but God. Like my husband says, like literally all of our bridesmaids and groomsmen played a perfect role that weekend for our wedding day, and I was ready. So after I got dressed, I had my first look with my dad. My dad came in, and oh my gosh, he said his heart. I showed you guys on my wedding day vlog of his reaction, and it was amazing. That was the second time I cried, was when my dad saw me, and I was like, are you ready? Do I look beautiful? Like, it was crazy, y'all. Like, just having your father be there to walk you down the aisle and see you for the first time on your wedding day is just like such a surreal moment, and it was just great to share those moments with our family. So my dad seen me, and then my bridesmaids Anita was like, all right, time to go ahead and start lining up and, you know, heading out. So I was like, ooh. After my bridesmaids left, I took my little vlog of my little moments before I walked down the aisle. Shout out to YouTube, because I made sure that I have these moments so I can always live it back, because I would have never captured that moment if I didn't get these ideas from social media, YouTube, and everything. So I had to make sure that I captured that, and I made sure that he got his moments before he had walked out as well, and when he tried on his suit and everything.
And so whenever I had the moment while I was like in the room and finished putting on my jacket and everything, that's when I tried to record the videos and just say how I was feeling in the moment. Just excited and like kind of nervous, but it was like a nervous excitement to go ahead and like jump in the water and just really being grateful for everything and just be ready to go. Then it was showtime. We lined up and everything. Make sure like, it was funny. I had my ring, I had your ring.
Show them as close up to your ring. This is his ring, y'all. Look at the details.
And we was about to walk out, and I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to have these. I gave your ring to my groomsmen, I gave my ring to your maid of honor, and then it was showtime.
Yeah. My dad came back after I made the video, and I did my moments before I walked down the aisle, before I go out there. My bridesmaids are already lined up. Everybody was already lined up. Their whole thing was to make sure that he stays far, far away from me, so he does not get any type of idea of how I look like. So shout out to our whole entire bridal party for that. They already started walking down the aisle. I feel like I was missing everything. Like I had totally forgot that I didn't get to witness the actual wedding of everybody walking down the aisle. But shout out to our videographer and everything for catching that, so I can go ahead and relive that. But basically, my dad came in, knocked on the door, was like, you ready? It's time. And that was cute. I made sure that I get that on video too, on my wedding vlog, so check that out. But he said it's time, and then I walked down the stairs, and we were basically outside the doors before they opened the doors to have everybody stand up for the bride coming down. And I remember my dad making me cry. My dad would not stop making me cry. Like, he was just telling me, like, this is the moment, like, this is such a good young man, and like, this is a moment that she'll never forget. Just take it in. I was like, all right, daddy, just stop talking right now. I want to be so ugly by the time I get down the aisle and Dede see me. Just stop. Like, just make me laugh or something, like, because he was just saying all the sentimental things right now, and I just like, okay, I appreciate it, but not right now, daddy. Just saying how much he adored him, like Dede, because he just said from day one, this man is just sent from God. That's what he was saying, the angel of God. And it was just amazing. So I kept on telling my dad, I was like, all right, dad, go peek and see what's happening right now. Is it time? Like, I feel like I was waiting forever, like, for the bridal party to go, because we had a huge bridal party. We had like 8 groomsmen and 9 bridesmaids. So it took for a long time for them to get down the aisle. And then he had his own moment and everything going down the aisle with that song too. So he had his moment, and then it was time for me and my dad to walk down the aisle. So I remember them opening the doors and me and my dad stepping out and everybody standing up, and we had to walk down this way and then make a U-turn to like the front of the aisle and then walk down the aisle. So they started playing the Brian McKnight song, and I saw Dede over here, and he was kind of like peeking, but he saw me, but he wasn't really looking at me yet. Like, he was like, I could tell like he was trying to not get emotional right away, and I couldn't really see nothing, y'all. My veil was over my head the whole entire time. I made sure that my veil was over my face basically the whole entire wedding, until he had said, all right, I now pronounce you man and wife, you may kiss the bride, and he flipped the veil from over my head, and I could see. It's like literally when I came home, I showed Dede, like, I was like, can you see over this? Did you see through that?
I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like trying to see through your eyelashes or something. Like, I don't even know what that means.
Trying to see through a sheet, like, it's very distorted. Like, it's very, very distorted. And then on top of it, I had like an updo where I had this bang hanging right here and these long eyelashes. So it was like my veil was over my eyelashes and the bang was banging, and I was just like,
I can't see in this fucking thing.
I was just like in the moment. I remember me and my dad were walking a little too fast, so our coordinator was just like, she fixed my train and it was like whispered behind me. She was like, you guys are walking a little too fast, just live in the moment, take your time, this is your moment. So I was just like, I just took a deep breath, and me and my dad started walking towards my now to be husband. I wasn't even looking at the crowd or anything, you know, all the people who came out to witness the moment. All I could see was him, well, his silhouette. I could see his face though. I could see his face, and I could just see him like kind of like wiping his tears. That's when I got emotional. Like, I just started boo-hooing when I saw him, and I started walking closer to him, and I started seeing his face more clear, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be my husband. And I was just like, I remember I was shaking and I felt like I was gonna trip. My dad was holding me up damn near, and then we got to the part where I got to him, and my dad handed me off to you, and the wedding started, and I cried the whole entire time.
As soon as I saw you, as soon as they played the music, you know, we listened to that song like a bunch of times, like getting ready for the wedding. And so it was like, I knew like when we heard the song, like that was the moment. And then that's when like all the emotions kind of just hit, because that was the time we've been practicing for, we've been, you know, praying for, we've been walking towards. And so that was it. When I just heard it, that's when I dropped a tear.
And what was going through your mind when you saw me in my wedding dress the very first time?
It was happy of the moment.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you were so beautiful. And
you said I looked like an angel.
I thought you was the most beautiful woman I ever seen in my life. That's what I thought. You were flowing down the aisle. You was just flowing when you walked.
And it's crazy, y'all. I feel like I was dragging my feet. I don't know. I feel like I was about to fall. I'm so glad that I didn't wear super high heels. It was such a surreal moment walking down the aisle. Brides, take your time and just live in the moment. Because I always go back to that moment when I'm walking down the aisle all the time in my head. And I feel like I'm going to keep on replaying that moment for the rest of my life. Like, it was the most special day, the most special moment of my whole entire life. Even better than the time I was born.
Okay.
Literally, I can think about all of the best moments of my life, and it tops all of it. Like, what do you think?
I agree. It feels like graduating, and it feels like crossing, and it feels like all these significant moments in your life. This is like the biggest check mark. It feels like you're graduating life right now. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, this or that, or trying to chase another female. You get to come home to your wife every day. You get to just be happy.
And you just to feel the presence. And a lot of people said this, but you can just feel the presence of God. And that whole entire day, a lot of like the presence of love was just so thick in the air. Mr. Lee, which is his dad, our officiant, just started his little spiel where he was like, we're all gathered here today. And we said our vows. He started with his vows. Oh my gosh. His vows were so amazing. And I kind of got a sneak peek of the first line of his vows, because just being sneaky, going through his notes in his phone. And it was just the first line, but he said that he finished his vows literally the night before.
I stayed up till like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I cleaned up the kitchen, and I I sat there and finished writing my vows, and then I went to sleep.
The night before the wedding, y'all. But I finished my vows a month before the wedding on the plane to like go somewhere. I don't know where I was going. I was on the plane though. And I remember writing my vows in my notes, and I was crying writing my vows. And every time I kept on reading over my vows, I just cried. I was just, okay, this is it. I don't need to add to it. This is it. When he said his vows, what really stood out to me, well, a lot of stuff stood out to me, but he was talking about, now you can really talk about our wedding date, 5/25/25, and what it meant.
One of the things I do when I study the Bible is think about numbers that pop up, and there's 525 things that pop out. I see what that correlated to with the Bible, and it correlated to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. So the NIV version says, husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her.
Yes.
And so that was that key, like, okay, be a husband and go love her. Like,
and everybody in the crowd was like, oh, I just was thinking about just, you know, making a cute wedding day. I wasn't even thinking about 5/25, about how husbands must love their wives. And it was just crazy how everything just correlated perfectly. That made me cry. Literally every single word that he said on his vows made me continuously cry. And then he had some funny parts where he was like, I'll film for you, baby.
I'll take the pictures for you.
I take the pictures. And then he even shout out the Divas of Compton in his vows. I was like, okay, Divas of Compton. He said, I just love your genuine love for coaching and making content. You make me so happy. So I was just like, this man pays so much attention to details, just everything a part of my life. So I was just so happy to be marrying him. And his vows matched perfectly about how he felt about me and how I feel about him. So I really loved his vows. And then it was time for my vows. What did you think about my vows?
I liked your vows a lot, and I really liked the fact that you thank God first, because I thought that was cute. But I just think about it, I thank the Lord for his grace and his mercy for bringing us together.
So basically, after we said our vows, we went ahead and did our sand ceremony. Our officiant said his words of wisdom. And do you remember his words of wisdom?
Oh, it was basically about leaning on each other.
Yeah. He said, once your sands mix, you can't really separate them. Part. So make sure that you're, you know,
the
you're
blending
one.
of families and life and everything.
I wanted to do the jump in the broom, a part of our wedding, but he said that he really didn't want to do that because that's the slave, we're out of the slave mentality. The only traditions that we did was the mixing of sands. And then after the officiant said his words of wisdom, he basically said, all right, now this is the moment that we all been waiting for. Now I pronounce you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Lee. I pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride. And then I finally could see there was the light, and I kissed him, and we didn't even do too much tongue kissing. We didn't even tongue kiss at all, I don't think. Yeah.
Just got a good one in.
Yes, and then our LTD started playing Love Ballad, and we started walking down the aisle, and that's when I could really start seeing, you know, my friends and family, and I'm like, hey. But I still was just in marital bliss with him. I just couldn't stop smiling. My cheeks hurt so much. I was smiling so hard. And we walked down to the end of the aisle, and our wedding coordinator was like, just wait right here. And then she forgot about us. So we was there for a little minute, but we were just in our little, we were just rocking back and forth, dancing to the music. We were just in our own little world. Like, we weren't even worried about, you know, a lot of people was taking pictures and videos of us cheering for us, but we was just literally in our own little world. I wasn't even worried about nobody. Oh, and then our dip. We practiced our dip before the wedding date, and I told him that I wanted him to dip me low. He did it perfectly, so where we could have a good picture with the videographer, and they perfectly took the picture. When we had did the dip, this is our picture that we did the dip and we kissed, and it was a moment that we'll never forget. And then we went down to like the lower part where I said there was like we took our main pictures, the lagoon, and we started taking our pictures with us first, and then our wedding party and our family and everything. And it was just amazing. The whole entire thing was just amazing. We took a little bit too long taking pictures, but it's okay because we took all the pictures that we needed to take, that we wanted to take, and that was really important to me. I really wanted to take some pictures by the bridge, but it's okay. It happened the way it was supposed to. During that time, our guests went downstairs and had cocktail hour, and we had an open bar for like the first hour. The way we set up our bar was we had a tab. What is it, tab bar?
Yeah.
And then we had a tab bar, y'all. So after that limit was up, baby, they had to pay for their own drinks, but it was okay because
it got the party started.
It got the party started, and you know what? Free drinks is when the party gets out of hand. So nobody was acting out, nobody was acting crazy. Everybody could still enjoy the moment. What was your joke about the free drink?
There's wisdom that I received that says that a free drunk is your worst drunk.
A free drunk is your worst drunk. So we ain't had no worst drunk at our wedding day. So after we took our pictures and our guests started having their drinks and everything, our cocktail hour, I remember we did our own cocktails.
Yeah, We didn't. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like signature drinks.
We had our signature drinks. We took the time to have our own signature drinks, and I'll make sure I'll pop it right here. It was like the Sweet Lee sipper, because we like sweet tea and lemonade and like stuff like that. And it was a Melody one. Melody margarita.
Yeah, something like that.
We had no idea. I think they did their own thing. But it was cute though. It was a cute idea.
It was a cute idea.
But we had our signature cocktails, and then we went upstairs. Our reception was actually inside the building of the Marquette Park Pavilion, and everything was decorated. So we did the entrances. The bridesmaids came out first.
They came out to I do.
You know I do. And that's what the bridesmaids came out to. But what did the groomsmen come to?
You know I'm the man when I walk through.
I can see and a man when I walk through. And then they just walked.
It was conflicting.
They was too cool. Like, go stand down. But y'all, we turned it up when we did our walkthrough. What we walked through to? Yeah. I bet you won't. That's what we did. It was by mouse and level. I bet you won't. Like, we from Louisiana. But we both went to school in Louisiana though.
We both went to Southern and spent like a bunch of time in Baton Rouge. I earned my bachelor's and my master's degree in Baton Rouge. So we've been down there for a minute.
Yeah. And then me and my mom took the time to try to, like, when we were picking up the dress, to do the bustle thing. And we done forgot to do the bustle before we did our walk-in. So I was then tied up all in my train, and my bridesmaids was like, wait, she's twisted up. And I had to like do a little dance to get untwisted, but it was cute, y'all. Like, everything happens for a reason. Daddy was hitting his little you was.
My mama said she never saw me dance before. That was funny.
A lot of people said that they haven't seen you bust out dancing before. So like, he really got out of his element, y'all. And if you guys don't know, he's a cute dog, okay? And his line name is Ghost, okay? Because he's very much of a ghost. Like, he would literally disappear and let everybody have their little moments, and he's just there. But this is the perfect time where he could shine and just be himself, and that's exactly what he did. And I wasn't surprised, because he's always himself around me. Like, we'd be dancing it down at home, but people were very surprised to see him like that. But I was like, yes, that's my baby. He be dancing down, okay?
Okay, I love you.
He be dancing down, okay? Don't do him, because he be getting it. And then I be teaching him the little 1 2 2 little 8 count. I was literally on my way to sit down. He was still hitting the.
It was funny. Everybody was still hype.
Everybody was still hyping him up. And I was like, dang, okay, daddy. Okay, get it. After we did our entrances, we had finally sat down, and everybody started eating before us.
Amen. Well, I was just happy. It was time to eat. You know,
it was time to eat. Well, we had our menu, y'all. We had a soul food menu. We had a black wedding, y'all. We had baked chicken or fried fish. And then we had macaroni, candy yams, collard greens. And then we also had a little salad as an appetizer. And then we had lemonade.
And we had it served family style at the tables.
At the tables, family style, so you can talk, you know.
And pass the plate. Yeah,
and if you didn't want it, you didn't have to eat it. You can make your own plate, so there was no food wasted. But trust me, everybody said the food was so good.
Shout out to Damien.
Yes, Dapper Eats.
Dapper Eats.
It was delicious, but it came with the venue, so we had no other choice. I mean, but you know what? Everything happened for a reason, baby. At that point, we was paid off, and that was our biggest thing, like our biggest expense for that wedding. So we were just so accomplished that we were able to pay that off. Shout out to God, okay? And our coordinator was kept on telling us that, you know, you're not gonna eat, right?
Yeah, I guess we told her after the ceremony we want a plate before the reception or something.
We wanted to have a moment like upstairs to eat, or just eat. We wanted to get our plate first, okay?
And she laughed at us. And
it's crazy. When we was outside, we was taking pictures. We gave her what we wanted, and she was like, "Okay, that's what you want."
But realistically,
it went right over her head. She was just like, "I'm not getting this shit."
Like, she does weddings, so she just knew that we was gonna go from taking pictures.
I was about lightheaded in a mug.
We needed to eat.
I did not eat all day, so I was just like, "Oh my gosh, where's my plate?" And my girl Alex, she was like, "Y'all didn't eat? Oh hell no!" She was about to go and get the caterer and like slap the shit. But I don't know what she's about to do, but I was like, Alex, it's okay. We told them that we haven't eaten there. You know, the plate is on the way. So thank God our plates came. And I was so mad, y'all. I started eating, but we didn't even finish our plate. All that good food.
We ate just enough to hit the spot. And then it was like, now it's time to go talk to people.
Now it's time to go talk to people. And then I had to go to my mom and my aunt to go get my bustle and my dress finally lifted up, because my train was still dragging the flow. And it took them forever to try to figure out where the hell the little
working hard.
Yes, y'all. It was like finding a needle in the haystack. check trying to figure out the bustle stuff. So I highly recommend that y'all practice with y'all mother or maid of honor getting that bustle up before the wedding day, because it was a lot the day of, and I couldn't really eat or like, you know, really enjoy the moment because I was trying to make sure that my dress was not dragging the ground and I wasn't getting twisted up every 2 seconds. So after we ate and we like had our little moments and like, oh my gosh, they like, look at this, because we did seating charts as well, only for our family members or our bridal party, and that was a lot too, just trying to figure out who was gonna sit where, because it's gonna be 10 people per table, and it was like we had like 200 guests, 150.
So we were planning for like 200.
We were planning for 200, yeah.
But only like 150 really showed up.
Yes, exactly.
And so we had plenty of space, and so people had really got a chance to sit where they wanted. We had the bridal party sit together and like our family members, but people got to like sit kind of like how they wanted to at the end of the day. So it was great.
Yeah. So after we ate and everything, we had walked around table to table and just said, hey, thank you for coming.
Took a picture. Took
pictures, hugs. Mark and our videographer was following us and like getting in the moments as well. And then we started the first dance. Yeah, our first dance is You and I by Stevie Wonder. And a lot of people was like, that was the first time that they heard that song too, You and I by Stevie Wonder. And it was such a beautiful moment. Every time, that's another song that every time I listen to that, I think about that moment. That's another tear up moment.
And I found that song. I bought vinyl records and I had the Stevie Wonder vinyl and played it. And so every once in a while we dance in the room to that song. So that was cute.
We have a lot of moments where we just dance. We just have our little moments. That was a beautiful moment, and that's the first time that we saw the smoke and everything, the sparklers and everything
that we paid for.
Like that was an amazing moment. And then he did the dip at the end again.
What I love about your dip was you just let go.
I just take my body weight, and he like, yeah, okay. Nigga, catch me.
Yeah, so I just said, okay, baby, and I got you.
Now dip me.
And just take me away. Just the trust fall to the next level. And
I know he's gonna catch me every time. Okay. After that, we had our first dances. He went first with his mom. Their routine was so cute. I had no idea. I thought he was gonna dance to what was the original song?
Boys to Men, A Song for Mama.
A Song for Mama. Mama, you know I love you. But no, he had I Will Always Love My Mama. And his mom had a little dance like this. It was so cute. I had no idea that they had a whole routine planned, because a couple nights before they was rehearsing till like 4 or 5 in the morning.
2 or 3.
Oh, 2 or 3 in the morning. And I had no idea that they had a whole routine going. So I was like, okay, like I was in the back and I was just so super surprised.
So shout out to my mom. She mentioned that she just didn't want to do the traditional Boys to Men song.
Yeah.
And so she found that song. And then we stayed up all night and really coordinated like a couple 8 counts. We got to get through 2 minutes. We got to put together some freestyles and the little transitions to make it through 2 minutes of the song. And amen, that's what we did. And then we just got to just, you know, once we got to a certain point, we just freestyled it out and we bowed and that was it.
Yes, and it was cute. Y'all little handshake at the end. Y'all was like,
boom.
That was so cute. Their connection is so amazing, y'all. And then y'all grooms, really put some time into your first dance with your mom. Don't just wing it, because it really is so special, especially a special moment between you and your mother, because it's not only just for you, but it's for your mama, okay? It's a dance for you and your mama.
That's awesome.
Yes, and I really enjoyed it, and I was really super surprised to like see that, because it was just so super cute. I said, okay, I was back there doing the dance with them. And then after they did their dance, y'all, it was me and my dad's turn, and we did Visions by Stevie Wonder, and that's actually me and my dad's song. So like that was very special, and we actually didn't have no dance routine. Me and my dad are like, well, especially my dad, he's not more so a dancer, but he's a singer.
He's a performer.
He's a performer. We're a singing family. That's why my name is Melody, because both my parents could sing. So me and my dad were mostly singing the song more than dancing, but we had our moment, and I loved our father-daughter dance. What'd you feel about it?
It was awesome. I'm glad y'all really got to share that moment, and I really appreciate those moments where we get to share special moments to make our parents feel special. Just take a time to acknowledge them and say that, because we love them.
We really love our parents, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that we had those moments for those first dances. And then after we had our first dances, it was time to cut the cake. Cut it. And y'all, the cake, you guys, let me tell you, we got our cakes from
Cakes by Karen.
It was so good, y'all.
Delicious.
I had my cake inspo and they did it perfectly. I'll pop a picture in how our cake looked. And we got a 2-tier cake. We didn't want to do too much, and we literally cut on the bottom cake. That's another tip for you guys, is whenever you guys are doing your cuts, make sure you cut on the bottom, because the top is gonna mess it up, honestly. And then we like fed each other the cakes. And what flavor did we get?
Wasn't it buttercream frosting with French vanilla? Like,
yeah.
cake.
Fresh vanilla cake, and then we also got cream cheese frosting.
Cream cheese frosting.
Cream cheese frosting for the second layer too.
The second layer was red velvet.
Oh yeah, red velvet, yeah. We gave it to your mom so she could freeze it so we could eat it on our 1 year anniversary.
Okay.
What we want to do for our 1 year anniversary is we want to unfreeze the cake and eat it for really the first time, because we only had like a couple bites on our wedding day. So, and then also the topper, y'all. The topper we got off Amazon. I really wanted to have a black couple as the topper. The groom looked just like him, but the bride kind of looked like me. She was a little bit more chocolate, but you know what? I just wanted a black couple, so that's all that matters. After we did the cake cutting, we had fraternity and sorority songs in the stroll. So he started with his fraternity song, and I sat in the middle while they sung their song. They was like, and then after they were done with their fraternity song, so I went and sat down, and I already know my baby was about to hit it. Okay, hit it, quit it. And Ghost surprised everybody with his stroll. He was started off real slow, and then he ha. Y'all have to watch the vlog when he had hit his little cute dog stroll, because he really hit it. He even surprised his line brothers and his profile. Everybody at the wedding was like, okay, daddy, look at you. And he like, yeah, he really hit it. I wasn't surprised, but everybody was like, oh my gosh, like I never saw this side of David. It's crazy. How did you feel doing that? He's very like,
shout out to brothers of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Yeah.
The 9th district is known for hopping, so I learned one or two things down there, you know, in my time. And so just because I just be chilling, but it don't mean like they make sure you learn how you learn how to do a little 1-2. So shout out to my line brothers, shout out to my pro fights. You know, I know how to do a little 1-2 whenever that time comes. Rude.
And then of course the AKAs had to come in a circle, and as I sat in the middle, and it was amazing to see all of my sorors in a circle, and like even his people was singing, like his brother's wife was in the circle, and his mom's friends who's also AKAs. Everybody was just all together, and like we were singing all in unison. And then after that we had our little BETAPSI and all of that. You know how that goes. You already know. Stro master, you know, step master, you know, beta psi, ski wee. And then after that, we had all of our speeches and everything. And my mom had her speech, and then his mom had her speech. Tell them about your mama's speech.
The highlight that she really started, she said she didn't even write this down. You know, my mama is the one who gave me my name, you know, she blessed me with my name,
yeah.
You know, and so she's named me David. And so everybody called me Day Day and throughout the weekend
Day.
And everything. And that's cool. So she said it like, you know, it's okay
that's
for...
cute and all, but...
Yeah, it's okay for Melody to call
everybody
me.
say it with me.
She called David. That was funny.
Everybody say it with me. His name is David. And like the whole room was like, oh, excuse me. But as people continue calling you Daddy.
I love you. It's okay.
But you know, that was cute though. She was like, his name is David. And that was really funny. Everybody was laughing about it because the speeches continued, and there was like, oh, my dad even had to correct himself. Excuse me, not Daddy, David. Because everybody knows that, like, you know, my dad's name is David and his name is David. So that's why I call him Daddy all the time, because I just refuse to call him David. So everybody calls him Daddy, like Daddy.
So it wasn't until this wonderful Melody, the beautiful, wonderful Melody, start calling me Day Day. And like everybody that knows me through her call me Day Day. But none of my friends, none of my family.
They do now. Now they do.
You know, they get a good laugh out of it. So it's okay.
And then my dad had his speech, and he was talking about
the love sponge. That's a blessing of a story.
How I had the hands to heal.
Amen.
Bow. Bang. And y'all just have to watch the vlog to see that speech, because that's amazing. I can't even retell that story the way he told it. It was just very special. And he said how I popped out like a Pop-Tart. My mom said she didn't appreciate him saying that at the wedding. And then Farrah had her speech. His best man had his speech. And he also did a toast to everybody. And then we really opened up the floor for anybody else who wanted to give speeches. And a lot of people gave speeches. A lot of people, surprisingly. And I'm really glad that we did that as well.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people said that they felt the love in the room, the presence of God. So that's what just kept on being a reoccurring theme in our wedding. So it was really warmed my heart to really hear that. And it honestly brought tears to my eyes, some of these speeches as well. Like, it was crazy how many times I cried during the wedding, because I'm not a crier. Dede knows that. I don't like to cry, especially in front of people. I don't cry. What, am I a crier, Dede?
No, you like to be tough.
I don't like people seeing my vulnerable side. So this is probably the most rare time that they'll ever see me cry. After our speeches, basically it was time time to party.
The bouquet toss.
Oh yeah, the bouquet toss and the garter toss, y'all. How can I forget the bouquet toss? So I gypped them out the first 2 times, and then the 3rd time I threw it. And everybody said, like, after the wedding, my line sister and everybody who was out there, they said, they was like, yo sister, she bombarded everybody. And baby, when I looked back on the video, she literally, it fell on the floor and she just picked it up, and that's it.
They was going for that thing.
It was Niara who literally fell on top of BB trying to get to it after my sister already took it, and then she was just like picking up the rest of the rose petals and just made her own bouquet and just like danced it off. But it was literally out of a movie the way the bouquet toss came. Like, it was crazy how the way they was fighting over that bouquet. And it wasn't even my bouquet. I did not throw my actual bouquet. I took one of my bridesmaids bouquets because I actually ended up giving my wedding bouquet to my mom the day after my wedding, and it was really special. I didn't expect her to get so emotional when I gave her my bouquet because she didn't expect it at all for me to give her my bouquet. It was really a special moment. I really wanted to make sure that I gave her that. I wanted to give it to her the day of the wedding, but you know, it just, a lot of stuff was going on. But I just threw my bridesmaids bouquet, and they was fighting over it. They wasn't playing no games. And then you could tell the story about your garter toss.
The garter toss for the men is always so, you know.
They were so nonchalant. Like, they was just standing there.
So at least when we got the gardener and I threw it, my cousin was the one that caught it, and he literally did not move. All the single men, they didn't move a muscle. When it was falling towards me, he just had his hand out like this, and it just fell in his hand. He didn't like try to catch it. He didn't move. He had his hand down to his side, and it just fell in his hand, and it was just like.
And then he put it on his head.
And then, you know, and then he walked away.
Was it before the garter toss you had went up my dress and you grabbed my garter?
Yeah, I grabbed the garter, the tradition.
Yeah, he grabbed my garter. And that was really awkward, y'all. Like, I feel like that was more awkward than the actual garter toss. They actually played, what was it, Fiending For You? You got me fiending by Jodeci, my favorite group. And then they was like, rah. And his line brothers, take that rubber off. We going meat to meat. In front of my daddy and my mama. All I could see is my dad's face and just disgust in the corner of my eye. I was just trying to clap and make it less awkward. I was like, it was really awkward, but
we got through it.
We got through it, and he got the garter. As soon as he was under my dress, he was like, you're not playing no games under there, Daddy. But that was my husband, so it was okay. But yeah, you guys, so basically after all of those festivities, it was time for the dance floor to open up, and it went by so fast. The dance time was probably like 20-30 minutes, and then boom, the wedding was over, y'all, because we had the wedding venue from, I think it started from 2 until 9. So like 9 o'clock, maybe they turned on the lights. They said,
you ain't gotta go home.
whoa, I put my boots on the ground, and they start playing the Get the Fuck Up Out of Here music. We had a little closing video with Marvin. Dada had ran all across the venue looking for the sparklers that we had bought off Amazon, and he found it, and everybody went outside to make sure that they had the sparklers. We did the little
make sure y'all have plenty of lighters. If you want to do a sparkler,
yes,
make it special, make sure you have plenty of lighters, and at least just kind of think about it. We was trying to pass around lighters at the last second, and then some people lit them, and then they was trying to pass to the next person and try to light theirs,
and then don't light it until it's the very last moment, because the sparkler is gonna go out. And get the long sparklers too. Don't get the little short sparklers like we did. But it honestly worked out, because
everything always works out.
We still got the picture, we still got the moment, and we did our little walk away, our send off, and everything. And we took our pictures outside. I feel like those pictures at night,
it was fire. Shout out to Mark.
Shout out to Mark. We really had a whole photo shoot at night, because at that point we were married, and like, wow, it's really over. Like, we just got married, our wedding's over. We had our send off, and it was done. That was pretty much it. That was it.
Afterwards, we was trying to have everybody come to the Airbnb and like have like some little after party. But
how did it feel leaving as husband and wife?
It felt great. It felt like it was like an immediate exhale, because the wedding is like a party, and it's like a show, and it's like something like an official situation, like official, unofficial. And at the end, I feel like it's a weight lift off your shoulders, and you got through it, and you and your partner kind of did something magical. And shout out to our family, and shout out to our friends, and well, shout out to God first.
Yeah, shout out to God.
Because can't do nothing. Like, sunshine is a gift.
The fact that it didn't rain on my wedding day, that was the #1 big blessing. The only thing that I would change, I wouldn't change anything, but the only thing that I would change was definitely I would add more time for our reception, for our dance time, because we could have spent more time on the dance floor, especially everybody just enjoying my husband, and I wanted us to dance together. And then his auntie and everything was like, baby, we should have had more time on the dance. We probably should have did it till like 10 or 11 o'clock, but you know what? It would have been more more expensive though. So it happened the way it was supposed to happen at the end of the day. So that was really our biggest takeaway. So really that was our wedding. All right, you guys, so we just finished talking about all of our wedding preparations, our engagement, and our wedding day, and all of the details, all the advice that we've given you. So we're gonna go ahead and end out this podcast with a quick Q&A/life update to give you guys the vibes of how it feels to be married. So first off, how has life felt since the wedding? Because right now it is August 16th and we've been married for 3 months now already.
Wow.
Crazy. 3 months of marriage, marital bliss. How has it felt since the wedding?
It feels like a blending of personalities, a blending of time, a blending of space, being considerate of each other, just valuing our time kind of more than just really anything. Our church offers like a marriage and excellence ministry, and so we get to go to that every once a month. We go to that and definitely ask a lot of questions, because I'm not going to say blending everything is just always easy, you know, because sometimes we disagree, but we have to agree to disagree or just work together. It's really about us moving together as one at the end of the day. One of the things we learned is not always somebody doesn't have to win, somebody doesn't have to lose. We both win it, and we're
on the same team.
We're on the same
working
team.
towards the same goals.
Yeah, we just really working together. So it's been a learning experience and really like getting the tools to like really enjoy life together. So I feel like it's just at the beginning. Amen.
Yeah,
and looking excited.
We're still very fresh and newlyweds, so it feels very amazing, honestly. I agree with everything he just said. I feel like he basically touched all the points that I want to touch. So the next one that we have is, does it feel like different being fiance and married? Yes, it does. It definitely does.
Definitely.
Like I said, the number one thing is just being right with God. Everything is just blessed. It's just like everything is just check marked by God, and it just feels so like I could feel like I could finally breathe. And everything that I gotta do, I'm like, baby, I gotta go check with my husband, okay? I gotta go home to my husband. That's my number one excuse, because y'all know I don't want to be going nowhere. So I was like, I can't do this. I gotta go home to my husband. I gotta make sure that he eats. So it's just like we use each other as an excuse to get out of stuff, which is another thing which I love. I just love this married life because I always knew I was going to be a wife. I feel like I fit perfectly in this role as his wife, and I feel like he's the perfect one for me.
Ditto.
Okay, so the next question is, do you plan on a honeymoon? If so, where? So we haven't planned our honeymoon yet because we still recuperating from this wedding, okay? We're honestly good. Like at this point, we're good. Like we're just getting leveled out as far as getting right in the green with this wedding. Amen. So you know what, every day is a honeymoon with you, honestly, but we do plan on taking a honeymoon. We still trying to figure out where, when.
So we got a couple places that we want to go. Jamaica or maybe Costa Rica.
But then the stuff with Malcolm Jamal Warner kind of threw it off. Like,
yeah, that was sad.
We had already planned Costa Rica. We had our hopes and their dreams to go to Costa Rica, and then Malcolm Jamal Warner and them tides kind of threw it off because I want to get in the water.
Jesus.
But Jesus, he don't even know how to swim. And Jesus, bless our black men who don't know how to swim. We gonna teach these black men how to swim this year. Pray for us about our honeymoon and send some suggestions down in the description box below and let us know what are some good places to go for a honeymoon on a budget. Really good resorts, because we want all-inclusive resorts that, you know, come with food, the vibes, and then really just adults, because we just want to have some grown people time. We just want to see some married folks, you know. Closing off this podcast, I just want to say that the biggest takeaway in our 2-year journey is just the experiencing like the wedding, and like it's not even just about the wedding, it's just about the marriage part. Past the wedding and like just looking forward to the marriage, and now that we're here, it's worth all the experiences. And I 10 out of 10 like would recommend, because a lot of people, even us, they had recommended just going ahead and going to the courthouse and just going ahead and getting married and just being right with God since we are living with each other. But I definitely recommend anybody who is doing that, I get it, but I definitely recommend a wedding, because it's just the moments that you'll never forget. And I always think about my wedding every single day of my life, and I feel like if I didn't have those moments, that's just me, but you know, that's what I would recommend. I just would recommend having a wedding, because that was the best day of my life and I would never take that moment away ever. That's my biggest takeaway. What is your biggest takeaway in these 2 years of wedding planning into this part?
Definitely enjoying the journey. The wedding planning part is definitely something special between you and your partner. So I definitely advise all men to just be present, be active. Definitely let your lady take the lead and just hear out, let the suggestions flow, but be a part of the planning process process, because you don't want things to be a surprise to you either.
Yes,
you know, and then enjoy it, you know, write it all down. I would definitely advise the wedding binder, because you just keep your ideas all together, everything that you decide on, but just enjoy the time. You know, you'll have questions, you're gonna learn a lot about the process, about each other, and just walk through it. You get to hold somebody's hand and go through the journey together. So, and
I really appreciate you for like really putting, like, being very, because I know a lot of grooms are just like, I just let her do it, so I just let her plan the wedding. Shout out to her. Like, I know a lot, we've been to a lot of weddings before our wedding, and we kind of got to see all the ins and outs and everything about like how people's experience was, and it kind of helped us through our experience. And I really appreciate you for being, like you said, like just so active and like, you know, willing to put your 10,000 cents in it. And
it was only the two, you know.
It was definitely 50-50 effort with us, and of course I do the most, so I'm gonna that's just me, that's just my personality. I'm just like, I give him this, and then even if you don't like it, I'm gonna get mad, but you know. He still is very patient with me and like willing to work with me, and that's just with life. So I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, my darling.
We read you guys' comments. We really love y'all and appreciate all y'all's support and love that you guys left in the comment box below. We always read y'all comments, so make sure you guys comment under this video and let us know what you guys think about this video. And also make sure you guys check out the description box below. Click the link of our registry if you guys want to show some love to the Lees. And let me know what you guys want to see in these future podcast episodes, because I definitely want to stay more consistent on my podcast and my YouTube channel, period. And also definitely my podcast and my audio, because I know I haven't posted in probably like 6 months to a year. I'm so sorry, y'all. This wedding has consumed my life, as you guys can understand, but now I'm starting to get back on track. I'm going to stay consistent. He's going to be on me about making videos. I've got a new camera, so we're good. God is good. Comment down below and let me know what kind of podcast episodes you guys want to see in the future. Do you guys want to see more interviews? Do you guys want to see story times, me telling story times, or whatever you guys want to see? So make sure you guys comment down below. And I also want to make sure that I open up segments where I give you guys advice. So make sure that you guys send me your stories. Send me your stories so I can give you guys advice. I would love to start doing that. I'll put my email down below, my Instagram, so you guys can just DM me your stories. So you guys want advice, I definitely will give you guys the best advice that I can. Your girl is here for you, okay? So thank you guys so much for watching Melody Almay TV, the podcast. And thank you, baby, for being a part of my podcast episode, being such a special part. We've been sitting here filming like literally from the sun up to sundown. This is gonna be, I already know this is gonna be a long episode, but thank you for sticking with me, baby.
No problem. Anytime, darling.
All right, I will see you guys next episode. Bye.